Hello everyone and welcome. My name is Simon and we are the Whales of Wall Street. In today's video we are going to be looking through Verasity, one of our favourite bags here at the Whales of Wall Street. If anyone's looking for it on exchanges, that is VRA, and actually currently available. We get ours on Qcoin, but there are a couple of other exchanges to get the token on, so just bear this in mind, and a couple of different pairings as well. But before we go into more detail about the token and also its chart analysis, let's go into actually find out what Verasity is. Okay, so some of you may or may not know what Verasity is all about, and that's what we're trying to do today. Have a quick intro into the project and go from there. So in a nutshell, I'll read this out. So Verasity is a protocol and product layer platform for esports and video entertainment. What does that mean? Well, Verasity actually is trying to basically enhance the experience that people have when watching video platforms. So whether it be YouTube or Twitch or whatever it is, they've got or some information in regards to research that a lot of views that you see on these kind of videos that influencers do, or whoever's doing the videos, companies, brands, etc. A lot of these views are arguably not real, so they're kind of like fake views. And this protocol and product layer system from Verasity on their blockchain technology is basically trying to eradicate that. So why is this important? Why is this important? So let's just dive straight into the white paper part here, because I want to make it clear to you guys why they're focusing on this. So digital advertising spend worldwide outside of China was $325 billion in 2019. On track to reach 389 billion in 2021, i.e. this year. By 2024, we're talking about nearly $500 billion there. That is unbelievable. I will do an extra video on Verasity as we progress. I like to do the intros and then talk about more and more the token as we go along. So I will check up on that statistic to see how far off we are, or even if they've hit it already. So that is kind of what they're trying to do here. So but basically, as I mentioned, the problem is about fake reviews. So I think the statistics out there are something like 50% of the spend online is for views that are not seen by people, which I thought was quite staggering. So you can imagine this is obviously very costly in a massive industry, especially the value of the industry that we've just shown you a moment ago. But thanks to Verasity, these guys are doing a patent at the moment, which I believe is passed. I have to double check, but I'm pretty sure it has. It's this thing here, proof of view, patent allowed. So this has been allowed. Okay, great. So the US Department, and that is this part here. This is the patent that was requested in March, and I believe it was passed pretty quickly, if not very soon. So what is this about? This is about basically eradicating, as I said earlier, eradicating fake views, giving the advertisers better income stream, less wasted money. And also, on the flip coin, it's really good for us collectively as viewers of YouTube channels or Twitch channels, whatever the video platform may be, Vimeo, etc., to know that when we're looking for scouring videos, and I've got into this habit before I started the channel, we were always watching loads of different channels left, right and center. And sometimes you go with a video because you see the amount of views it's got, not just the subscribers. So you jump on it and you go, wow, okay, this has been seen loads, it must be good. You watch it and about 20 seconds in, you're bored to death, or you're like, okay, this isn't what I was asked about. So there are companies and brands out there, supposedly, and arguably individuals as well, that are essentially using bots or other aspects of improving or increasing their viewership levels. So it's basically kind of like engineering people to, or manipulating people to come jump in and watch. They get the money for it, but you guys get absolutely terrible content to watch in that sense as well. And it works on the other side as well for advertisers, for brands. They're getting a bit of this scenario as well with fake bots from the companies they're using the platforms on. So there's no kind of real wording around who's doing this. But what is really interestingly important here is the product layer is integrated for the following video players already. I can't tell you much more about these three because I think everyone knows them. They are gigantic in the video platform business. The others I don't know so much, I will admit, but I have heard of a couple of them, but I don't use them, haven't used them. But the key point here is these guys with their patent are already adapting this technology with the big guns. Okay, so this is fantastic. This is what I want to see in a project. Is the fundamentals of the project and what they are partnered with. This is fantastic to see already. There's other things that they're getting included in as well. We will go into some, in fact, let's do that now actually. So there's other aspects of Verasity on their platform that you can get involved with. So for example, buying on this platform as well as staking. So there's a lot of exchanges that hold Verasity, but they don't do the staking option. So to do that, you do need to jump onto the Vera wallet onto here. I have actually got one. I haven't transferred mine from Qcoin yet, and I really need to sort that out and get that done. I just had this kind of thing in my head where, because I'm not using my ledger to do it, I feel uncomfortable, and I don't know why, because I'm sure it's a fantastic platform and secure platform. Maybe I'll reach out to these guys to ask them a bit more information on their back end for security and stuff, and I'll share that with you as well. But one thing to note here as well is this phenomenal APRs on here, or APYs, 25.55%. Now this was actually higher, and I will stress that I can't remember how often they do it, but they do reduce this. So it was a lot higher. It may have even been 40% when I originally looked at it. So it will keep coming down. So if you're interested in staking, I would advise doing a bit of research into their platform and making sure you're comfortable with it, and taking advantage of the high number percentages here before they keep coming down. But that's not to say that that's going to last a long time. I have a feeling it's every 12 months. Someone correct me if I'm wrong in the comments, please do, and I'll make sure that we share that information in the next video and give you guys the credit for it, of course, as well. So yeah, back to this point. So we've got the Vera wallet of where you can hold your tokens and stake your tokens. Fantastic. But they are also delving into esports, and as you know from previous videos, we have a massive passion and interest in esports in general. I personally have worked with esports companies within my real world job, as they say, with many esports partnerships with fantastic teams. I know the the magnitude of the esports market, and especially streaming and engagement within those platforms. I'll put a link to the video after this one of some recent information we put out about esports, because the numbers and the market value are phenomenal. This is why Verasity are interested in this. In terms of the tokenomics, which we'll go on to in a second, I'll explain as well briefly how the VRA token is utilized and also burned. But for now, it is all about this: creating tournaments, creating the ability to win prize money, to basically increase the engagement across the board in esports. So let's just take a look at this here, for example. So you got a multitude of what people do with the VRA, and in particular where we're talking about here is about watching content and ads. So this is advertising campaigns within esports. It's all about funding tournaments, funding campaigns. There's so much to this, it's unreal. And I love this. I love the fact that they've got involved really nicely with esports as well. Because of blockchain, of course, with smart contracts and things like this, you have a stable and very secure network and protocol system to ensure there's no manipulation, there's no fakeness, everything is legitimate. And especially with esports, if you're going down the sort of betting routes or tournaments or prize funds, you want to know that what's being in the back end of these projects is everything I've just mentioned a second ago. So it's really, really cool that these guys are getting involved. So as I said, there's loads of opportunities with the VRA token and what it's used for, who uses it. Like I said, do your own research. Definitely check out this website. So much information. And do you know what, guys? I absolutely love this roadmap. Why do I love this roadmap? Because it's not just a load of nonsense written in here. They like these ticks, and I love to see this because it shows that they're really caring towards their roadmap. A lot of people just put a load of nonsense out there and they don't actually adhere to it, and you find that actually like 6 months down the line and 1 or 2 years down the line, they haven't actually done any of the tasks or what they were set out to do in their roadmap in that period of time. So it's really promising. And again, back to the fundamentals of why you would invest in something and do your own research, is seeing that they hit their targets, they hit what they are trying to achieve. EFC, absolutely gigantic. So that's what I've just showed you here, the Esports Fight Club, all about tournaments, all about video, watching and earning. So you're earning via VRA as you do it. The gamers are winning prize money as well as VRA tokens if they want to as well. It's phenomenal, absolutely brilliant. But back to this roadmap. So for the rest of this year, continuation of the esports elements. But what I really liked here was the VRA digital purchases for gaming hardware enabled partnerships. I'm really, really intrigued to know what this is about, and I will find out more, and it will definitely be a mention in the next Verasity video that we do for you guys. Absolutely, no problem. And then for the rest of the year, here we go, NFTs. This is fantastic. When I'm looking at, again, a project, I want to see into the future with these guys. I can already see the esports. I can already see what they're trying to do with the video content and everything with the proof of view, etc. But this sort of stuff as well, it's the adaptation, it's the evolution of the product and the project as well that interests me. Vera Wallet mobile apps, this is again going back to my point about earlier about the security and stuff. This is one thing I wanted out of this because I'd like to have the access on my phone as well. So it's good to see they've thought about that. They've heard feedback and they've acted upon it. That's what you want to see. There's a few other things as well in the improvements of the POV and ad fraudulent detection. That is fantastic. YouTube and all this will absolutely love all that. And of course there's teams, you can go and check them out on LinkedIn. Again, very important when you look at a project, see if they're real people, and see if they're engaging as well. What are they talking about on LinkedIn? What are they doing on their Twitter accounts? And how active is the Verasity Twitter account? Let's have a look now. 11 hours ago, fantastic. 6 hours ago. So, very active during the day, very heavily involved on the esports side. That's not a surprise to me. And again, as I said, engagement. Esports gets engagement. And when you're involved in esports, you cannot go wrong. I say the same about IoT, same about AI. Those kind of projects in crypto or blockchain or in general, you cannot lose 100%. So that's kind of like a mini roundup. As I mentioned with the token, and I will pull up the white paper, page 14. So VRA buyback and burn policy. So there's two elements to think about when it comes to this token. One is it's used in terms of the esports gaming side of things. So it will be purchased for that aspect and use as well. But also the VRA or Verasity purchase back from exchanges, and they burn the circulation to reduce the circulating supply. So what's important here is to keep an eye on their Twitter and other forms of social media, because they do announce fairly regularly, or when they do it, or just before they do it, when they are going to burn. And usually you do see price influxes in an upward fashion when this happens or is about to happen. So you're going to get that organic growth anyway in the chart, as well as, of course, just general adoption news, the project news that we've gone through with the roadmap as those keep getting announced, as well as, of course, the general market traction, for example, that we've been seeing quite recently as well. So do keep an eye out for that aspect when it comes to Verasity. If you're thinking about it long term, how everything's going to keep adapting to more streaming, more video content, more advertising, more esports, these kind of projects are the ones where you sit here now and go, wow, this is a very, very low priced token. It's not always about the price, of course, we know this. It's of course reflective of supply and everything like this, but what I would say about the supply, yes, it is massive, but they will continue to burn. And when we're talking about 5 years, 10 years time, this number will be significantly lower, which will automatically drive that price up anyway. So that's kind of like a mini roundup, guys, for you. Do check out some of the case studies. They've got great partnerships with Vengeance, another project that I need to do a video on, and one that we have bags of, absolutely. But when it comes to gaming, Engine is up there. Proof of You, I can totally get why those two have combined this year. And of course, decentralizing video content, Web 3.0 conversations here, video streaming, advertisers, it's all here. Just go and check it out. It's really important to do your own research throughout thoroughly with every project that you invest in. Absolutely, that's the only way you're going to get somewhere, is invest in what you know, and if you don't know, go and do the research. So that is kind of wrapped up, guys. Verasity in a very top line format. Please do let us know in the comments below if I've missed anything of importance in this video, or anything you want us to cover in the next one, which will probably happen in a few weeks time, or as the market sort of adapts as well. And before we sign off today, I as always want to try and do a bit of brief technical analysis and chart analysis for you guys. So we're currently trading at the moment just under that 2-cent mark. Now, in history, a few months ago, we did get as high as just over 5.5 cents. Now, I remember it very well because I was like, wow, we're going to continue to go up and up and up. But of course, as the market did throughout, we crashed and burned. So we're seeing resistance currently at just under 2 cents. And that's understandable. There's probably going to be a lot of stop limits around that mark. But I would like to see us push that in the next couple of days, if not the next week or so, to get over that line and start testing above it. I would really like to see that for this project. The next step up would be around the 2.5 cent mark, but I think we're maybe a couple of weeks or maybe even a month away from that. We'll see. I will report on that as we go along. But in general, I'm seeing a very good few days for Verasity. It's certainly less volatile and less depressing than it was in the past few weeks. As I've mentioned in the other videos, here is the V. It's a similar pattern to everything else, but this is as well, and this is as well. So let's see where the overall market is going, and then I can determine perhaps in a couple of weeks' time when we do another video what we can expect to see in the coming months. In terms of a price point, in terms of prediction, for the rest of this year, I am hoping and anticipating, and again, this is not financial advice, this is just from research and other analysis, etc., that we should at least try to be looking at that sort of 16-17 cents mark in 2021. That's what I believe. It could go higher, of course, but I'm trying to be conservative in that aspect. And of course, it can always be lower, but I do think that we would at least try and test those marks. Seeing us get to that sort of just under 6 cent mark back in I think March or April maybe, does give it a positive signs here. But here we are, we're in August, and I'm hoping that over the next couple of months we will see some good gains, especially as we've mentioned with that roadmap. With if they can tick the boxes on these 2021 roadmap plans for Q3 and Q4, then I believe that we're going to see some great growth, and do expect to see, hopefully, as a predicted 16-17 cent mark would be fantastic. So hopefully guys, you have found this relatively interesting. Please do let us know in the comments below what you think of Verasity. Are you holding any bags? And let us know what you want us to cover in the next video as well for these guys. Please do like and subscribe, it really helps the channel out. And once again, I will thank you all for the fantastic support. We are smashing through the subscribers quicker than ever anticipated or ever thought we would. When I originally started this with Steve, we thought we would be on like maybe 50 or 100 by now in 2 months, but we've sat here nearly edging towards 400. Thank you so much guys, really appreciate it. Tell your friends, tell your family, share it on social media, spread the word. This is what we're trying to do, build the community, engage with you guys as much as possible, and we love you for it. Thank you so much, we really do appreciate it massively. And that's it guys. So as I said, hope you found this informative, and we will see you and Verasity on the moon. Take care guys, and we will see you in the next video. Verasity to the moon.